Hello, internets! So, a friend recently suggested to me that I should make a blog, or video vlog. So, I'm pretty sure that this friend is the only person that's going to watch this, but that's okay. I decided to make it anyway. And I thought about this for a very long time. What should I make a blog about that people would actually care about hearing about? And I realized that everything that people would actually be interested in has already been done. So I'm just going to do things that you probably aren't interested in, which are books. So I figured I would talk about the 3 books that I've read recently because I really liked them. So 2 of them are ones that I'm sure you've heard of. The other one, very unlikely that you have. So first of all, Jurassic Park. I just finished this, and I've always loved the movies, and I'm not really sure why I never got around to reading the book until now, because it's fantastic. Not even kidding. It was one of the most superb books ever. I really appreciated how Michael Crichton put exactly the right ratio of technobabble and very, very technical descriptions of like DNA sequencing, computer code, extra awesome nerdy things. So he just gave the perfect ratio of that to dinosaurs ripping people's heads off. Seriously, it was awesome. Like I never felt that the technical side was too long or boring, and I never felt that the dinosaur attacks were like, wow, there's so many dinosaur attacks. Yeah, this is just a really, really well written book. I always knew that there was a book from Jurassic Park. I guess, never really had the incentive to read it, and it's amazing. I would highly recommend it. Yeah, it's different from the movie in a lot of ways, obviously, as would be expected. But it's not in ways that I really minded, and I guess because the book is always better than the movie, so you never mind if the book is different. So, alright, the second book I'm not going to talk about very much because I'm sure you guys have all at least, well, no, you probably haven't, but okay. Count of Monte Cristo. Here we go. I have the full version. I cannot say enough rantingly good things about this book. This has been my favorite book since I was probably 13. And I love the movie. I absolutely love the movie. But the movie, if you've seen it, leaves out about 75% of the plot line and about 80% of the characters. Obviously that's not an hour and a half, 2-hour movie. But it's the most intricate, riveting, intriguing book that I have ever read. And I think that also it's one of the books with the most invasive characters. I guess invasive isn't really the right word, but characters who force you basically to empathize with them. The only other book that I've read that's more so than this is Frankenstein, which is also one of my favorite books ever. I can never decide whose side I'm on. Am I on the monster side or Victor's side? I always get really mad at them both. But then I want them both to succeed. So, but yes, I don't even know what to say about this book. There's so much plot. Can't give anything away, obviously. But yes, I guess I just wanted to rave about how good of a book this is, and because I just finished reading it, well, a couple weeks ago. Okay. And then the last book is called Desiree by Anna Marie Salenko, which, as I said, you probably haven't heard of this book. My best friend Sam introduced me to this, and this is a really amazing, amazing story. Basically, it's the story of, oh gosh, I suddenly forgot her name, Bernadine Eugenie. But her middle name was Desiree, so she went by that, I guess, after. Anyway, okay, I'm making it confusing. Basically, Napoleon Bonaparte, and this is supposedly a true story. Obviously, this is a lot of literary, artistic license in it, but before Josephine, Napoleon was actually engaged to another girl, and he went away to the military for a couple years, and when he came back to Marseille, I think it was Marseille, Yeah, I think it was Marseille. And Eugenie tried to find him. She found out that he was actually engaged to Josephine. So that was kind of a shocker. But anyway, basically this details her life before she met Napoleon, when she fell in love with Napoleon, after she finds out, and then she marries this other guy, whose name also escapes me. I haven't actually read this one recently. It was a while ago. Let's see if I can find out what his name was. He's awesome. This guy is so great. And eventually she actually becomes the Queen of Sweden, which is really interesting. I remember his name is like Bernadotte, his last name, or Bernadotte. I don't know. My friend Sam always said Bernadotte, and I knew she was wrong. But then when I started reading the book, I couldn't get the pronunciation. Oh, Jean-Baptiste. That's what his name was. Jean-Baptiste Bernadotte. I know it's not said that way, but like I said, my friend Sam said it that way, and now every time I read it, I can't get her voice clip out of my head saying that, so Sam, I hate you for doing that to me. Anyway, so yeah, it sounds really boring because it just details her life, and she has a little boy named Oscar, but it's very historically, not even accurate, I wouldn't say, because I don't really know how accurate it is, but it's just very insightful. I never really would have thought about Napoleon having some, I mean, I don't know. Napoleon isn't in it very much, and when he is, it does show a very different side of him than you would normally think of from history. So, I don't know, I just really liked it. It was very different. Her writing style is very, very crisp. That's a weird way to put it, but I think about halfway through, yeah, actually I doggy-eared it. There we go. About halfway through, I was like, good God, can I please stop reading this book now? Like, I'm just done with this. It's so, but then I would put it down, and someone would be like, oh, what are you reading? I was like, oh, this amazing book, it's so cool. It's about this chick that Napoleon used to be engaged to, and then he dumped her for Josephine, and then she blah, 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 and then I realized that this book is amazing. I just never felt like reading it. So, I don't know. I did eventually finish it. I've actually read it twice. The first time I finished it was a few years ago, and then I finished it again maybe 6 or 7 months ago, so not that recently. But yeah, it's one of those books where if you can stick with it and keep going through it's not even boring parts, it's just, I think, too much of one person's experiences to handle at a time. It's kind of like if you were reading someone's diary, but there's nothing particularly juicy, so you're like, wow, this person is a really interesting person, and I love how their thoughts are just expressed in this way, but this is too much of daily life for me to take in at one time. I just need a break from this. There's nothing that world-shaking going on. So, anyway, amazing book. Anna Marie Salenko wrote another book, too. I can't think of the name of it right now. I read it a really long time ago. I don't own it. But anyway, she's a really good writer. So, alright, internets, this video is probably way over time by now. So, yeah. I hope you're happy that I made a blog. Good night, internet.